You thought it was over the moment she said no and walked away. Now she's back in your DMs, and you're about to find out the hidden psychological reason she couldn't stay away. Let's be honest, when someone you really like or cared about decides to reject you, it can feel like a punch to the gut. It's natural to feel the sting, to ask yourself, what went wrong? But here's an interesting twist. Sometimes that same person comes back, often drawn by an unexpected force that can be summed up in two words: curiosity and regret. After all, when people make a decision, especially a big one like turning someone down, there's usually a little voice in the back of their mind that wonders if they made the right choice. It's human nature to question, to second guess, and it's often that small whisper of curiosity that begins to creep in over time. She may start to reflect, especially in those quiet moments, wondering if she overlooked something important. Think about a time and distance have a way of reshaping perspectives. She might begin recalling the moments you shared, the little things you did that perhaps seemed ordinary at the time, but now feel like rare gestures. Maybe it's the way you listened when she spoke, the way you noticed the small details about her life, or just the kindness and warmth you brought. Sometimes it's only after stepping away that people realize these things aren't so common, that genuine connection isn't something you find around every corner. Now, curiosity is one thing, but when it's paired with a hint of regret, that's what starts pulling people back. Regret can be subtle at first. It doesn't always come crashing in all at once. It may start as a small tug at her heart, a feeling that she let go of something valuable before she had a chance to fully appreciate it. She may not even be fully conscious of it right away, but with time, as she reflects more on the decisions she made, it grows stronger. She might start thinking, what if I made a mistake? This question becomes the seed that drives her back to you, even if she's not entirely sure what she'll find. But here's where it gets really interesting. The more she reflects, the more she starts to see a version of you that maybe she couldn't see clearly before. It's almost as if she's rewinding the moments in her mind, looking at them through a different lens. Curiosity and regret can spark a whole new wave of appreciation. What she took for granted may now stand out in ways it didn't before. Those little actions, the way you showed up for her, the parts of yourself you shared without expecting anything in return, they start to add up in her mind, forming a picture of someone who is genuine, rare, and perhaps irreplaceable. Curiosity can lead to clarity. It's a funny thing. Sometimes the things we don't fully understand or appreciate end up being the things we miss the most. This journey of realizing she may have lost something special doesn't happen overnight. It's gradual, unfolding as she goes through her own experiences and encounters people who don't quite match up. Maybe she meets others who lack the depth, the kindness, or the attention to detail that you had. And with every person she meets who falls short, the curiosity grows stronger. Eventually, it may build up to a point where she just can't ignore it anymore. She feels the need to reconnect, to see if there's still a possibility to explore what she initially walked away from. Sometimes all it takes is that one moment of reflection, that one moment of what if. And that's why you find her reaching out, trying to reconnect in a way that she didn't before. This is the power of curiosity mixed with regret. It becomes a bridge that leads her back to you, a path carved by the lingering wonder if there's still something between you two worth exploring. And whether she fully understands it or not, it's that curiosity and regret that often bring people back, hoping for a second chance to discover what they might have missed the first time around. Sometimes when someone comes back after walking away, it isn't just about regret or curiosity. There's often a deeper pull at play, something almost magnetic drawing them back. It's as if they're rediscovering an old melody that still echoes in their mind, a connection that never fully faded. We often underestimate how powerful familiarity can be. When people leave, they take a part of the relationship with them, but they also leave something of themselves behind. So even as she's moved on, even as she's convinced herself that she's making the right decision, there's still that lingering attachment that keeps her tethered to you in some way. Familiarity creates comfort, a safe space she may not find elsewhere, and that's hard to replace. Think about it. There's something comforting about returning to a space where you know the language, where there's a shared history, a path that made you both who you are today. This familiarity is like coming back to a place that remembers who you really are. And maybe she starts to realize that while new connections can bring excitement, they often lack the depth, the shared moments, and the understanding that you both built over time. She may find that, with others, it's different. She has to start from scratch, rebuild that closeness and understanding. And sometimes that feels daunting. Starting fresh can be tiring, and that's when memories of what you shared start calling to her. It's not just about remembering, it's about missing the simplicity and ease that comes with being with someone who already knows you deeply. In those quiet moments of reflection, she might come to recognize how you always seemed to understand her in ways others didn't. Maybe it's the way you anticipated her needs, how you knew her quirks, and could read her moods without a word. That kind of connection doesn't come easily, and it often only becomes clear once it's no longer there. Familiarity mixed with nostalgia becomes a powerful pull. It's the subtle reminders of small things like a song, place, or a memory that spark those feelings of wanting to come back to what's known and comfortable. And there's something else too. With familiarity comes a sense of security. When people try to move on and enter new relationships, they may find that their new connections lack that same stability. New relationships come with questions, uncertainties, and sometimes a struggle to find footing. But with you, she had stability, a sense of emotional security she might not even have appreciated at the time. She might realize that the new relationships don't make her feel as seen or understood, and that could be a strong motivation to return to what felt real, steady, and true. Ultimately, for me, familiarity isn't just about comfort, it's about a deep understanding that you two share. And when people step away from that, they sometimes find themselves longing to return, not because it's easy, but because it feels like home. Familiarity is a foundation, one that's difficult to recreate. She may find herself coming back, drawn by that need to feel understood and accepted. And that's why even after walking away, she might find herself hoping that the door to what you shared is still open. Sometimes people return to us because in our presence, they felt truly valued, truly cherished in a way that went beyond surface admiration. When you've built a connection based on genuine respect and kindness, that energy lingers. She may have felt this sense of admiration from you, a feeling that goes beyond just attraction or attention. It's a sense of being seen for who she truly is. The world can be a harsh place, and the older we get, the more we realize how rare it is to find someone who genuinely respects us and brings out our best. In the hustle of everyday life, we can start taking that respect for granted. But once it's missing, its absence is felt keenly. Consider what it feels like to be around someone who admires you, not in a superficial way, but with deep appreciation for who you are at your core. It's uplifting and allows you to be your authentic self without fear of judgment or rejection. And this respect and admiration you showed her, it becomes a marker, a standard she may unconsciously carry with her. In new relationships, she may find herself comparing others to you. She may look for that same admiration, that same depth of connection, but often the world doesn't mirror back that same genuine respect. People sometimes enter relationships with their own agendas, with expectations and conditions, and she may find herself feeling as if she's being measured or like she has to earn someone's affection or approval. With you, though, she might have felt an ease, an unconditional kind of respect that allowed her to feel fully accepted. Even when things didn't work out, that feeling remains as a touchstone, something she may realize isn't easy to find. The admiration you offered wasn't transactional. It wasn't about her looks, her accomplishments, or anything fleeting. It was about her character, her essence, things that don't fade or change over time. And sometimes this realization hits after she's left, when she notices the lack of that genuine respect in other relationships. She might start to realize that with you, she didn't have to pretend, didn't have to work to gain acceptance. It was simply given, and that's powerful. This sense of respect and admiration is a gift. It's rare. And when people find it, they tend to come back to it. It's not just about feeling loved. It's about feeling valued. That's a sentiment that stays. So if she's found herself drawn back to you, it could be because she realizes now that what you offered wasn't just affection. It was a deep, steady admiration that allowed her to see herself in a better light. That's the kind of respect that's hard to replace. And when people walk away from it, they often find themselves hoping they haven't lost it forever. Sometimes when someone comes back after rejecting you, it's because they realize they underestimated you. Life has a way of showing people what they missed when they thought they'd already seen everything they needed to know. Often people make snap judgments thinking they fully understand someone or have seen all their potential. They think they have you all figured out, only to discover later on that they didn't even scratch the surface. In relationships, it's common for people to think they know what they want or need, only to realize later that the qualities they dismissed were the ones that truly mattered. Maybe she overlooked your kindness, your patience, or the depth of your character, thinking that these traits were easy to find elsewhere. Or maybe she took the calm, steady way you handled things as a lack of ambition or excitement. But here's the thing, as time goes on, people start to realize that certain traits are not only valuable, but rare. They start to see the difference between flashy qualities and true, lasting character. This realization can be startling. Out there in the world, she might encounter people who are flashy, who make a great first impression, but lack the substance to back it up. She may find herself surrounded by people who prioritize their own needs, who are quick to anger, or who lack the empathy that you showed her consistently. When she thought she knew exactly what she was looking for, she might not have accounted for how important reliability, respect, and empathy truly are. And these qualities are often the ones people only start to appreciate after they've experienced the absence of them. When she sees these gaps in others, it often makes her reflect on what she had with you. She might start to piece together all the times you were there, all the small ways you showed up, all the moments where you chose patience, kindness, and understanding. These realizations can be powerful. In the beginning, perhaps, she didn't see these things as extraordinary because you offered them so freely, with no agenda or expectation. With a different perspective, those same qualities begin to shine much brighter in our mind. What this means is that you left an impression, a mark that she couldn't erase. It's a reminder to all of us that our true value often isn't seen right away. People can sometimes overlook depth and authenticity in favor of excitement and novelty. But when the excitement wears off, when the novelty fades, they're often left looking back, remembering what they dismissed so quickly. And if she's coming back, it's likely because she's come to realize that she underestimated what she had with you, that the qualities you embody are more rare and valuable than she initially recognized. So if she's back, know that it's not just a matter of missing the relationship. It's about realizing that she may have made a mistake in her judgment. This isn't about ego or validation. It's about understanding that true worth isn't always seen at first glance. And sometimes it takes distance, experience, and time for people to see clearly what was in front of them all along. Sometimes when someone returns after rejecting you, it's because they're grappling with regret. The human mind can be a curious place, especially when we reflect on the decisions we've made. At first, a person may feel certain, even confident, in their choice to walk away. They might think they're moving towards something better or escaping something that doesn't quite fit. But over time, as the reality of their choice settles in, they often start to replay moments in their minds, moments where they were happy, at peace, or understood, and realize that they left behind something of real value. The human mind often has a way of creeping in during quiet moments. Maybe she's alone, scrolling through photos, or a song comes on that reminds her of the time you spent together. These memories often feel sharper with time. They're not dull, forgotten things, but vivid reminders of what once felt easy and right. She might remember the laughter, the warmth in the simple moments of comfort you shared. She may even realize that no matter how much she's tried to move on, those memories still tug at her heart. It's not necessarily about wanting to go back to exactly how things were, but about realizing that in many ways, she may have lost something genuine, something she underestimated. It's common for people to feel they can find something better or move on to something more exciting, and sometimes they do. But often, life has a way of teaching us that what's shiny and new isn't always more fulfilling. The human mind can be a curious place, especially when we reflect on the decisions we've made. At first, a person may feel certain, even confident in their choice to walk away. They might think they're moving towards something better or escaping something that doesn't quite fit. But over time, as the reality of their choice settles in, they often start to replay moments in their minds, moments where they were happy, at peace, or understood, and realize that they left behind something of real value. The human mind often has a way of creeping in during quiet moments. Maybe she's alone, scrolling through photos, or a song comes on that reminds her of the time you spent together. These memories often feel sharper with time. They're not dull, forgotten things, but vivid reminders of what once felt easy and right. She might remember the laughter, the warmth in the simple moments of comfort you shared. She may even realize that no matter how much she's tried to move on, those memories still tug at her heart. It's not necessarily about wanting to go back to exactly how things were, but about realizing that in many ways, she may have lost something genuine, something she underestimated. It's common for people to feel they can find something better or move on to something more exciting, and sometimes they do. But often, life has a way of teaching us that what's shiny and new isn't always more fulfilling. When we take things for granted, we overlook the value that consistency, loyalty, and a deeper connection bring. Over time, as she may have tried to fill that void with other people, she likely came to see that the connection you shared had a depth that isn't so easily replaced. They may have taken for granted the calm, steady energy you brought into their life, the peace that came from knowing you were there for them, fully committed. That sense of reliability, of being able to count on someone, is a rare quality, one that's easy to overlook until you're left without it. When they experience the uncertainty and unpredictability of other relationships, they start to see that stability isn't something everyone offers. It's something special, something grounded. People often crave excitement, and it's natural. We all want to feel alive, to have experiences that keep us on our toes. But with time, the need for stability, for something real, becomes more apparent. They start to understand that while excitement fades, stability grows. When you have someone who's there for you day in and day out, it becomes a foundation on which you can build something lasting. And once they've seen the other side experience connections that lack that foundation, they begin to realize how rare it is to find someone who's committed, steady, and genuinely invested in a long-term partnership. In you, they might have seen someone who provided a safe space, who brought balance into their life. They start to realize that in the midst of all the chaos, what they truly need it's someone who adds to the noise, but someone who brings a sense of calm and security. They need someone who is grounded, someone who offers a stable presence, not just during the good time, but even when things get tough. The excitement of something new can't replace the deep, lasting satisfaction of knowing someone has your back, that they'll stand by you through ups and downs. So when they return, it's often because they've come to understand that they don't need fleeting thrills. They need someone who's willing to invest in building something real. They realize that true connection isn't always flashy or filled with drama sometimes. It's in the quiet, reliable moments that love shows its real strength. And it's in those moments they begin to appreciate the value of stability, of knowing they can rely on someone without question. When someone returns seeking stability, it's a testament to the qualities you bring: loyalty, consistency, and a grounded presence that doesn't waver. You've shown them what it feels like to have a safe place to land. And sometimes it takes leaving to recognize that it's exactly what they needed all along. And that's when they truly start to see your worth, to understand that you're not just an option, but a foundation for something deeper. When someone who once rejected you comes back into your life, it often signifies a period of reflection for both parties. They've had time to think about what they really want and how they truly feel. And this moment of introspection can lead to valuable insights. It's important to understand that their return isn't just a random occurrence. It's often a culmination of experiences and realizations that have altered their perspective on relationships. In many cases, during the time apart, they might have encountered different people. They may feel a mix of regret and longing, understanding that they walked away from something genuine in pursuit of illusions. And in their journey, they come to understand that relationships based on appearances, on fleeting attraction, are ultimately hollow without a foundation of trust, kindness, and understanding. It's the intangible qualities, the shared memories, the silent support that make a relationship feel like home, and they come to appreciate that home isn't something you find just anywhere. Returning after rejecting you isn't just about coming back to familiarity. It's about returning with a new awareness, an understanding that what you offered was special. They come back because they now realize the value of deep, genuine connection is something that isn't easily found and shouldn't be taken for granted. When they come back, it's a sign that they've seen beyond the surface, that they've come to understand what truly matters. And sometimes it takes losing something real to appreciate its value fully. And so if they return, remember that it's not because they took the easy way out or because they didn't care. They come back, they've grown to understand what they once couldn't see, and they've chosen you knowing that the depth and sincerity of your connection is rare and irreplaceable. When someone comes back after rejecting you, it can feel like validation, a sense of worth being restored. But their return isn't just about you. It's a reflection of their own journey, the lessons they've learned, and the maturity they've gained. Many times people leave not because they don't value you, but because they haven't yet found value within themselves. They may have felt unsure, unworthy, or even incomplete, searching outside for answers to questions they hadn't yet asked themselves. And sometimes the distance from a true connection is what helps them see themselves with greater clarity. They learn through loss, and that loss teaches them what really matters. When they come back, they come with a new perspective, a clearer understanding of what they need, what they value, and what they're willing to invest in. Life has a way of showing us, sometimes in difficult ways, what we took for granted. They may have walked away thinking there was something better out there, but life doesn't often fulfill those illusions. Instead, it teaches hard truths. It shows them that depth and real connection aren't things you can just recreate or stumble upon. And so they come back, not only because they miss you, but because they've gained wisdom that reshapes their view on love, respect, and partnership. This return is a signal of growth. Perhaps they now understand that real relationships aren't about perfection. They're about persistence, about nurturing and supporting one another through life's changes. And maybe they weren't ready to be that person before someone who can give consistently, who can show up fully, who values not just the good times, but the hard times too. Now they're coming back with a willingness to be that person, to contribute in ways they may not have been ready for before. And this realization, this change, comes from their journey, from the experiences and introspection they've been through in the time apart. When someone returns with genuine intent, it's an acknowledgement of the importance of what they had. It's their way of saying that they understand things now that they didn't before, that they see you in a different light with renewed appreciation. And in this return, you hold the choice to accept them, to decide if they truly have changed, if they're ready to honor and respect what they once overlooked. You can allow them the space to prove their growth, to demonstrate that they've come back with deeper integrity, with a heart ready to invest and appreciate. Remember, this journey wasn't only for them, it was for you too. Their return is also a testament to your own value, to the resilience and strength you showed in their absence. You became stronger, more self-assured, and more grounded. Their departure gave you time to reflect, to grow in your own ways, to see yourself fully independent of anyone's validation. And now if they come back with a new respect for themselves, for you, and for the connection you both shared, it's not just about picking up where things left off, it's about building something that reflects who you both are now, shaped by growth, lessons, and a renewed understanding of what it means to be truly connected. And if this message resonates with you, drop a heart in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can keep growing together.